Why, hello, it is Mike Matthews, the host of the longest-running self-produced daily podcast on planet Earth by a guy named Mike in the land of Ameritopica, broadcasting from Café Anyway. It's Mike's Daily Podcast, episode 3205, 3205. It's my birthday today, possibly, when you're listening to this. If it's Saturday, maybe it isn't. But here's some good news for all of us here in the Bay Area. Hey, your taxes went up. Wait a minute, that's not good news. What else? Hey, gas prices actually have gone down. That is good news for sure. It's if you're living in somewhere else in the country, further east, let's say in the south or whatever, I'm sure it costs only 5 cents, a nickel. Now, no, it has dropped quite a bit here in the Bay Area. But San Francisco emerges from the shadow of a doom loop. Yes, San Francisco is rebounding. Crime rates have dropped. Is this all because of Mayor Larry? But San Francisco is rebounding. Crime rates have dropped to their lowest levels in decades. Burglaries are down 28% this year. 28%. Homeless tent encampments. Yes, the encampments you see all over the place. And yes, I know I'm lucky to be in a house that's not made of fabric, that I can sleep suspended above the ground versus actually on the ground. Oh, I hate sleeping on the ground. And yeah, my heart goes out to them. But the homeless tent encampments that bedevil retail businesses in San Francisco, they have actually shrunk. Meanwhile, they have grown in the city of Fremont, just to let you know. And if you try and report it to the city of Fremont, they don't do a darn thing because they had several lawsuits slapped against them, filed against them because there's all these people that want to make an example out of Fremont. These people, these organizations that are very pro-homeless, and I understand. But at the same time, you're driving people away from Fremont. People don't want to come here to shop, or they don't feel safe walking their kids, or they're not into it. So what a surprise. When I went to Texas in February, my lovely lady friend and I, we were driving along, and she said, "Oh my gosh, that's the first person I've seen, unhoused person I've seen in a tent." And they were sleeping underneath the highway, whatever. They don't call it a freeway. I think they just call it a highway. And she said, "Oh, look at that. That in California, everywhere under the freeways are full of all these tents, these small tent cities under the freeways." But actually, in Texas, it does get quite cold. In Dallas, it was way under the 20s. So that would really be not good, dangerous for someone not getting the appropriate shelter that they need. The hotel industry is showing signs of recovery in San Francisco, and rents overall are up almost 12% year over year. Yes, since last year, they've gone up 12% as a result of everything going on, including what we'll talk about a little bit later, artificial intelligence and the development of that industry, though it is having a bit of a pause now in the stock market, the whole AI thing, due to a lot of companies that sprung up that weren't really worth what they were saying they were worth. September marked the 13th month in a row of consecutive growth. And then suddenly the bill came due and reality hit the wall. As the Police sang, I forget which album it was, Zenyatta Madada or the Outlandos de Amor. I don't think it was one of the later ones like Synchronicity or Ghosts in the Material World. But it was a song called Truth Hits Everybody. Truth hits everybody. Truth hits everyone. It's true. And that's exactly what happened with this whole AI thing. The artificial intelligence boom has prompted many firms in San Francisco to expand their real estate footprint. However, the recent results of the stock market lately, due to the AI dropping and crypto dropping, they may not be expanding as much as they were planning to back in September. The number of young people moving into the city is ticking up slightly. San Francisco lost more than a quarter of its 20-something population, people in their 20s. They lost more than a quarter of them between the years 2019 and 2023. I know when I was younger, I wanted to move to San Francisco. It's a thing. It's a city that lures the young. It does. And I was back in the late 80s, early 90s. Oh, I want to move to San Francisco. And it was nicer back then. Maybe it'll be back to how it was soon, thanks to Mayor Lurie. A turnaround for a city that gained national notoriety a few years ago. And the Republicans certainly made it quite known to, and all the right-wing media they discussed it, the belly of the beast, they called San Francisco. And it got a lot of news, bad news, for shattered storefronts and smashed car windows. In fact, there was one particular YouTuber that I used to watch all the time. I got sick of him after a while because he kept buying, oh, look at this. Jack in the Box has got a brand new cheeseburger. I'm going to eat it right on the camera, as close with the camera to my face as possible. Look, that lens is right up in my mouth as I eat it. Oh, this looks so good. Oh, I got so many followers. So many people view my videos. Oh, makes no sense at all. I got sick of that. I used to like his channel, though, because he'd go to all these cool places around the country that I'd never been to, that I go, oh, I might want to go there sometime. These cool little touristy type things. But I stopped. Oh, but when he was in San Francisco, his car got broken into, and they stole one of his Crocs, because he likes to wear Crocs, because he believes in one day not being able to walk, because he's destroying his feet. Oh, and yes, we had Halloween a few weeks back. Did you know that during this Halloween, the DIY, do-it-yourself Halloween costumes were on the rise? Parents came up with all kinds of costume plans. In fact, there was one costume called the 6-7, which kids love that term for a particular reason. And I don't know exactly. Maybe they just had a big 6 and a big 7 on them. Halloween spending was at over $13 billion this year. 71% plan to spend money on costumes, or around a little over $4 billion in spending. And TikTok actually was a big reason for the do-it-yourself craze. They fueled a lot of this creativity. 60% of people planned to do the DIY with their costumes, and that was up 53% from last year, thanks to things like TikTok and YouTube. Primary.com has a free costume concierge service that actually walked parents through how to make unusual visions come to life. And this all happened about 2 weeks before Halloween, which shows that people are way better at planning ahead than I am, because I never know what I'm going to wear on Halloween until like an hour before I go out and check out what's happening down the street. Down the street, there is some craziness going on in PodCastro Valley, and every year it gets bigger and bigger, and I always got to check it out. I think this year, all I wore was... I don't even remember. Did I wear a costume? This happens every year. Maybe like a spooky shirt. Was that it? I don't even know. It's gone. I know one year I had like a little hat on my head that was orange, and my shirt was orange, and I told people I'm a pumpkin. That's about how much work I put into it. Okay, you know what? I do need to put work into opening this door for you and letting you into my party. It's my party, and I'll be weird if I want to, because it's my podcast too. That's why it's called Mike's Daily Podcast. Did you know? And this is the wonderful Café Anyway. Let me get the door for you. Café Anyway. Here we go now.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I am in a different location of Café Anyway, podCastro Valleymont, the last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Things are a little wonky when you change and you have to record using very interesting technology that you can't afford. And you record and people go, oh, what's this? It's an interesting podcast and I cannot resist listening to it. I am sounding like Matt Berry. Sometimes he talks like this.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
All right, welcome to the show, Mike's Daily Podcast. Episode 3205. 3205. I sounded like
Daily
a little barking dog.
Podcast.
Episode.
Yeah.
That's right. That is how a little dog, a little yap dog, says the word episode. And I might be getting a little yap dog very soon. We'll see how that goes. Did you watch that K-pop Demon Hunters thing? I don't know. I get that K-pop. Isn't it funny? At one point, if you were a musician and you were like making music, you stayed away from the word pop. Yeah, we don't really describe our music like that. We don't really describe it as pop. We just describe it as our music, you know. And then suddenly K-pop comes along and Korean pop stars embrace the word pop and like make tons of money. Because that is the appropriate recording of money, and calculating it is by saying tons. Well, that's what the K-pop stars are making. And we have known this for a long time. People in the younger generations in their 20s and early 30s grew up on a lot of music that came out of Korea. I remember a group called Pixicado 5 that got kind of popular in the 80s, and I think they were out of Japan. So suddenly it's well embraced, and suddenly there's Netflix with this great idea to do this movie.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Computer-generated images is, I guess, one way of calling the animation. Computer-generated animation. CGI animation. And the podcast picture is not CGI. It is a real live picture. What we're losing so much of these days is all the fake stuff. But this is a real picture of my real cat, Patches, who adopted us, who was a feral cat that one day said, hey, I really like Mike. I want him to pet me. And he let me pet him. Whereas before, up till like 6 months earlier, he would, whenever he saw me, he would take off. And I just have to leave food for him in the backyard. And he came around shortly after Basil passed away, which lets me believe, makes me think that Basil maybe when he was still alive was able to chase him out of the backyard. So he probably wouldn't have agreed with me befriending Patches. But there you go. See a picture of Patches doing this funky thing with his paw. And see it at mikesdailypodcast.com. I'm his cat paw. It would appear. But yes, we have K-pop Demon Hunters, and Netflix has that. And now they've got toy deals with Mattel and Hasbro. Mattel, Chowda. They don't make chowda. They're going to handle the dolls, the action figures, the accessories, and the play sets. And, you know, that at least is something you can hold in your hand and it's real. And I know CGI requires a lot of hard work behind the scenes to generate that animation. I don't know if in the future there'll be more AI involved in making that kind of art, but that's what I have to... At some point, though, reality has to hit with the artificial intelligence. The real intelligence has to kick in. And people are saying to these AI companies, what? Hey, all this money you say you're worth and you haven't sold anything. What's this all about? So that's interesting. What I was videoing suddenly ended. Well, we'll see what's that.
I think part of what is happening, I think Democrats are letting their hair on fire to get you to cover this story to kind of keep repeating the same story.
That's right. That's what it is. It's the Democrats' fault. No. There's been issues today with X and a couple other, what is that called? I did that search earlier. Is it still in one of the zillions of tabs that I opened? Oh, yeah, computer service down. And if you
I want to be the computer from Star Trek.
I know, and you could help me so much better if you were, but there's a service provider. Cloudflare has confirmed it's experiencing issues and is investigating the situation. The outage has affected multiple sites. So that might have included my little recording I was trying to do.
They took our job!
So as far as AI taking our jobs, well, first they actually have to really make money, and people are spending money on AI, but then are the people really using the AI that, that expect to get it for free? Are they using it? And I guess I'm not describing this perfectly, but you get an idea that at some point
you're switched on. You're a bit of all right.
No matter how bit of all right you are, at some point the bill comes to your table and you gotta pay. And I guess there wasn't real money behind some of these companies that were AI affiliated or adjacent. That's the way I'll describe it. But in the toy world, they're having so much fun with the K-pop Demon Hunters. Mattel's going to handle the dolls, the action figures.
That's a good one.
And the accessories, as well as play sets. What are play sets? Is that like with the Lego, when you had a play set? Or when we had, what were those things called? Tinker Toys? Well, Hasbro is going to focus on the plush dolls, the electronics, the role play items. They're gonna have role play items.
You've got to be kidding me.
Amazing with K-pop Demon Hunters, and they're gonna have board games too. Hasbro's gonna do that. So interesting how that has happened. Meanwhile, Amazon, who's probably the cause of all this calamity going, or one of the reasons why, hey, I was able to start recording again on the wonderful. As we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcaster Valley, the last place on earth in the land of America. Anyway, Café Anyway. And if you're listening to this on Saturday, it is my birthday today. So please feel free to say hello. Otherwise, I'll be sad and I'll go boo-hoo, boo-hoo, and wish me a happy birthday. Sure, you can do it on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Mike Talks or Mike's Daily Podcast.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right, maybe you don't. Never mind. Didn't mean to. But, if you like the show, and if you like me doing 3,205 episodes, just wish me a happy birthday. Because it's my birthday. If you're listening to this on Saturday.
I'm really busy right now.
All right, maybe you just don't have time. I get it. But Amazon aims to automate 75% of its operations and avoid hiring 600,000 plus people. That would mean a 30-cent savings on each item that Amazon sells. And 30 cents for everything that they sell.
We have a basic responsibility to protect people's data. And if we can't do that, then we don't deserve to have the opportunity to serve people.
Wrong, magnificent company spokesperson, owner guy. That would be Zuckerberg, who apparently won a case regarding something to do with, a monopoly. Because he had Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook. He was a monopoly. But are people even still caring about social media? Seems like all the young ones went to TikTok, so they left you, Mark Zuckerberg. Interesting, Amazon never really created a social media thing, but they still made a bunch of money in the tech, from the tech side, the tech thing. The tech industries. So they're going to save 30 cents per item they sell. They employ 1.2 billion people. Oh, yeah.
Any
crypto.
quick thoughts for us on
pro and con on crypto?
Crypto
A lot
world.
of times, a lot of older people just aren't going to understand it. It's super volatile. It acts like a risk asset. I don't really buy the destruction of the dollar. Like, well, if we have a fiat currency, there's no backing to it. So if it ever goes to zero, you're going to own crypto. Well, U.S. dollar ever goes to zero, good luck logging in on any internet, right? How are you going to exchange crypto? I'd rather own gasoline and bullets at that point if we're going to be, Mad Max beyond Thunderdome. So I don't like that angle at all.
We don't need another hero. And crypto, as of this recording, is doing horrible. It dropped down below the $90,000 level. It had been above $120,000 for quite a while, and it looked like it was continuing to go up. And at some point, it probably will turn around and continue to go up. But at this point, it's lost just about all it made this year. I think down. Did I hear?
He's nuts! They're nuts! They know nothing!
That's what they told me. Maybe they do know nothing. Was it 25%? I don't know. But Beyond Meat's meme stock rally gained approximately almost 86% from October 17th to October 22nd with daily gains.
What in the world was that about?
Up to plus almost 50% across the certain sessions that happen. And currently, what in the heck is going on? Beyond Meat, which is the ticker is BYND, like bind.
Huge.
I don't know how huge it is now, but according to storystock.org, shareholders of Beyond Meat, that's that stuff that I've never wanted to buy. It always looked like it was too expensive at the store. And heck, I don't know what's in that.
What president ever talks like that? That's not who we are.
Was he saying something about Beyond Meat? I don't know. Well, it would... Was Biden into Beyond Meat? Shareholders of Beyond Meat...
You're darn tootin'.
...would probably like to forget the past 6 months ever happened. The stock dropped 63% and now trades at a little over $1. This was partly driven by its softer quarterly results and may have investors wondering how to approach the situation. And let's see.
I caught you a delicious bass.
Maybe I'd rather eat a delicious bass, than Beyond Meat. Demand slipping as the sales volumes decline. And this is what they're saying here with stockstory.org. The free cash flow margin is dropping, they're saying.
You are fake news.
Fake news.
Is it fake news? Beyond Meat's margin dropped 16.7 percentage points over the past year. Short cash runway exposes shareholders to potential dilution. And now we're getting into all kinds of terminology that I don't really know. But it says here in the last paragraph that Beyond Meat doesn't pass our quality test. After the recent drawdown...
Oh, someone's going to get fired.
Yeah, the stock trades. At a little over $1, the market typically... Someone's going to get fired there at Beyond Meat. The market typically values companies like Beyond Meat based on their anticipated profits for the next 12 months, but it expects the business to lose money, they say. We also think the upside isn't great compared to the potential downside here. There are more exciting stocks to buy.
All right, we made it through. Da-da-da-da.
There, I'm through that story. Well, and they did have... So it was going up because of some kind of thing to do the whole meme stock. Like one day, a bunch of people start buying it and the value goes up, looks like, and people want to buy it. And I don't know how that all works, but it's the whole phenomenon of the meme stock, because we love memes and funny things like cats blaming the dog for...
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is
Sarah
horrible.
Huckabee.
And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way.
No! But back to Elon Musk. Were we talking about him earlier? No, it was Zuckerberg. Or was it Jeff Bezos? Well, Elon now owns up to 2/3 of the satellites now up in space orbiting the Earth. 10,000 Starlinks up there. And he just did the 10,000th Starlink launch. SpaceX has launched, let's see, all these 10,000 satellites, Starlink satellites. 8,562 of the almost 13,000 active satellites in low Earth orbit, that's just over 66%, are part of SpaceX's Starlink constellation. Oh, that was the thing I heard from someone who likes to comment on the market. It's got a radio show that I helped produce and a podcast I helped produce named Rob Black. He's heard on AM 1220 KDOW weekdays at 5 p.m. and he's on Cron TV Monday through Thursday in the 9 o'clock hour. He was saying that, hey, Meta doesn't have any space stuff. Bezos and Elon's companies do, but he doesn't. So he needs to get with it. So what do you think about that, huh? Person that's outside of Café Anyway right now, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Maritopica. Chely Shoehart and her exploding snow globes.
Hello, Mike Matthews. This is Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. We're broadcasting from Café Anyway, Mike Matthews.
That's right, we are, Chely. You sounded so radio just then.
I sound like what?
Radio.
What's that, Mike Matthews?
It's this business that I work in. And it kind of morphed into podcasting until people said, no, I want to do more of the TV thing. And then the podcasting morphed into TV shows and videos that people put on YouTube. And they're not in space either, by the way. But thanks for bringing your exploding snow globes by. And this horse.
Yeah, I was riding Nellie the horse today. Benita the rodeo queen said it was okay, Mike Matthews.
Wonderful. Look who else is here. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer, Mike. Yeah, all this technical AI stuff is amazing. It makes me want to pour you a delicious root beer. Because there's root beer on every table inside, and I just brought one outside, Mike Matthews. And right here. Wow, what was that? I don't know what any of that was. Here's the number to call if you want to explain.
Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
Yeah, we do have a lot of root beer here. Brewmaster not here today. I think he's going to pop by hopefully tomorrow, but thank you. Oh, yeah, and it was also to celebrate your birthday or whatever. Yeah, Mike, happy birthday!
Mike Matthews, I gave you a special snow globe for your birthday, Mike Matthews. But it exploded.
Oh, that's all right. You know, we just have to continue on despite the craziness that happens in our lives. Well, I'm going to go. With that, we go to the main frame and hear from A Frame to find out everything you need to know about Mike's Daily Podcast. Thank you so much for listening.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.